Is this thing on?
It is.
So we're on our live stream. We're prepping for our Triple Frontier podcast, a movie that we were forced to watch by Krishna. Maybe don't have the volume turned on.
I just turned it down, sir. And you're welcome for me making you watch this movie.
Abu Dhabi, sir.
That's so weird.
Someone has their volume on.
I think that was me. Fuck.
Wow.
I know. What an asshole.
What a goddamn amateur.
You're okay. Let me write out this intro. What are we thinking? Welcome to this fuckity fucks.
I'm just going through cameras right now, showing off the different hosts and people involved in the show. And now we're going to go to the best person. That's right. We're on me. Hello, people of Earth and Bad Tacos Media fans and Was It Good fans and Arjuna Ramgopal fans.
Who directed Triple Frontier?
Who didn't direct Triple Frontier, man? The director of Triple Frontier was a man named J.C.
Penny.
Really?
No, Chander?
J.C. Chander?
Jeffrey McDonald Chander. Chandor.
Jeffrey McDonald
Chander.
Chandor.
Chandor. I don't know actually how to say the last name.
Shandor.
Anyone out there who's watching, if you know how to say it, let us know. I don't know how you could actually articulate that via message, but you could give us the pronunciation guide. So please do your job, audience. Thanks. Is this so hard to ask for? Jesus.
Jesus! You know, if you take Jesus and replace the J with CH, you have a combination of Jesus and cheese. Jesus!
This is working out to be like the longest intro ever.
Well, speaking of intros, we are happy for all of you wonderful fans joining us on this live stream right now. Before we start,
I'm the only one.
Please send us. You know what I forgot to add?
I'm the only one on the live
I forgot
stream?
to add into our outline questions. Questions from the audience.
If I am,
you can mix that in whenever. I just put it at the bottom.
Don't do it.
But if you have any questions, please let us know. Message them to us.
I will
we
monitor
answer.
the YouTube stream.
Twitter us, YouTube us, Facebook us, Twitch us.
Fuck you, book.
Excuse me?
All right, I'm good on my end.
Fuck you, book.
Do we want to go over the outline at all? Or
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
All right. Are we ready?
Nope.
We're not ready?
Nope.
Everyone look at your cameras. Ravi, you're just kind of showing off the side of your face.
Well, that's for the behind-the-scenes stuff. I mean,
behind the scenes.
It's up to them. They, those that are watching want to, I don't know.
Are you saying English?
Sure.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let me just get my page back up here. Yes, we are, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Rangers in space.
I forgot how to count.
Jesus.
You sure you didn't drink or smoke last night, Judah?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. For those watching, we had our housewarming last night, which was pretty funny.
Or did we?
And none of you came.
Yeah.
Jerks.
So, assholes.
I know, seriously.
I think I still might be slightly high.
You know what it is? I think it's also like lack of, you're dehydrated, you're tired.
Literally drinking salt water right now.
Really? Are you fasting today?
It's just a little bit of sodium, a little bit of potassium, a little bit of sodium bicarbonate.
A little bit of your volume's still on.
Someone's not really good at the
whole volume thing?
At the phones there.
You guys suck. I hate you both.
I mean, you can't call someone out
I will call whoever I want
and
out.
then make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
I could make the same mistake 5 times.
All right, I'm going to start us down.
All right.
Here we go. In 100, 99, 98,
97,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Ruffle of God.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Was It Good? Today we are reviewing Triple Frontier, directed by Jeffrey McDonald Chandor, starring Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, and a crap ton of other people. I'm your host, Ravi, and I'm joined by my two brothers, Krishna and Arjuna. We're going to break down the story, the acting, and answer the age-old question, was it good? Krishna, we're going to start this off with you, as we always do, because you're old and, respect.
Yeah. Respect, OG.
Respect. I'd like a one-word impression
A one-word impression
that
of
you would use to describe
the movie.
your thoughts on this film, Triple Frontier.
There's only one word that does it any justice. Anyone who doesn't use this word is just wrong. The word is Incrediballs,
Incredible.
which is actually is a combination of two words:
Okay.
incredible and balls. The
Okay.
movie has a lot of balls. It shows a lot of balls. Not literally. It's it's just it's a hardcore action film about 5 guys trying to survive with a bunch of money, and it's incredible. It's just incredible. Do you want me to?
Yeah, no, you can
break
keep
it
going.
down?
Please
Yeah.
keep breaking that down. Like, so your one word to describe a film about something is to make up a word.
Well, yeah. This is the first time we're doing this segment. Usually you go around and you're just like, oh, what was your initial impression? Now you're giving us this one word thing. You got to make it interesting. So I'm going to start out with a bang. Incrediballs. Juna, let's keep a list of all the words that we use.
Yeah, so Juna, producer, please write
We're
them.
okay. We'll make that.
Now, Arjuna, your one word kind of impression of this film.
Disappointing.
That
Arjuna,
seems
get
to
out.
be a common word with you.
Get out.
Not, I mean, about films, not just.
Thanks, Ravi.
I'm not saying
I
you're.
appreciate that.
I'm not saying you as a brother. I'm disappointed with you.
You know that could go really deep on a lot of levels. That's great.
This got weird.
What about you, Ravindra?
To my one word to kind of like describe this incredible piece of garbage
Incrediballs.
is I'm just gonna use the word garbage.
So we have Incrediballs, disappointing, and garbage. Yes.
Incrediballs, disappointing garbage. Interesting. That's
Yeah.
the sentence
I love
of
it.
the day.
I love it.
Right there. Triple Frontier is a film. We're gonna give a quick kind of like synopsis.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah. break it
take
down.
on the film was you had these old retired military folks, very close. That's kind of the common thing with the militaries. You go in and you become very close with people. And, a lot of them are seeing hard times because the government, et cetera, didn't help them out and so forth. Oh, there it is.
And so far,
forth.
they've got our first one.
The first so
We need a
forth of the
ding
day.
him.
We should have like a swear jar. Like a jar where anytime
You use your
either of
catchphrase.
you say 100%, a dollar goes in. If I say and so forth, dollar
We
goes in.
all use both though.
So we should have like a jar.
Well, I want to use and so forth to make fun of you. I never use it.
I've heard you say. I think I've heard you say it.
Use it
accidentally.
really?
Yeah.
Like for real?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
That's scary. So yeah, a bunch of military guys having hard times. One guy discovers this evil drug lord in whatever drug lord country, and he sees an opportunity to go and rob the guy blind. He basically lies to his good friends to get them into this country. They steal the money, and then up until that point where they've stolen the money, it was an interesting film.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
And then after that point, this is like right around the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes a movie of carrying the money and surviving.
So let me ask you this. Can you honestly, all right, look in the mirror and say that you, Ravi, can call a movie garbage when half of the movie was interesting?
Yes.
You see, there is
Yes.
a little bit of a disconnect.
No, I don't think there's a little bit.
You could do what I did. You could create a word that perfectly encapsulates what you think. So instead of saying garbage, which is not a true reflection of how you feel about the film, you have to create a different word or use a different word, like into garbage.
Intergarbage.
Yes.
Incrediballs, though, makes it sound like the entire film was incredible.
And
which
it was, to me.
It was not.
It was.
It was not a fully fleshed out idea.
Quick backstory. I did force Ravi and Arjuna to watch this movie.
I was forced. I was held
I,
at gunpoint.
I was sitting on a couch one day, very bored, and I was like looking for something to watch, and I just came across this movie, like this on Netflix. It said Triple Frontier, and I just saw the cast. The cast being Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam, Pedro Pascal, and some white fuck.
Some white fuck. Much like Oscar Isaac did in the movie, Krishna lied to us. For his own good.
That's
I
true,
didn't-
actually.
I did not lie to you. I watched it, and it was. I think the thing that I found like interesting or Incrediballs about it is that they took their time. Most action movies is the focus is just on the action, and the plot, which is like in this case, it would have been robbing the guy and getting the money out, right?
Right.
But this movie took its time to explore each guy's viewpoint of what they were doing. Enough, at least more so than other typical action movies. Like, so for instance, it took its time to present Ben Affleck as this realtor, who was the leader of this group.
Real quick though about
And
Ben
then
Affleck though, but
does everything by the book.
yeah.
And then it's to show that, and they took that time with that to show the flip. And just like different situations, they all had different viewpoints. Like the best part of the movie to me was like when they're getting the money out, and each guy was like, "Well, we've never missed a hard out. Like, what are you doing?" Ben Affleck's going off the deep end, right? Now, at first they're all like super excited, and then one by one they're like, "All right, we're spending way too much time here on this money," and I thought that was interesting.
So, with Ben Affleck, though, the point I wanted to make, though, is he's kind of a jerk, and he's an irresponsible parent as well. He was drinking and driving while dropping his daughter off at school in the middle of the day.
He is a military guy, okay? That's what they do. They
I don't-
drink and they drive.
I don't think that was a good message
It's
that
not a
they
good message.
presented.
But it's not about a message. It's about showing a guy, and I think when you serve, I think some people might be, when they serve their country, they feel like, they've earned the right to bend a few rules maybe. So,
We're not going to jump into that. I'm just going to throw out drinking and driving. Very stupid. Don't do that.
that's how it goes.
We
to
haven't
Sonic
actually
versus-
spoiled the movie yet, so just in case
He gets shot in the head.
you didn't even let
There.
me do the warning.
How
Boom.
could you?
Well, spoiler alert, if you hadn't heard that part? Question mark?
Then
Yeah.
it sucks to be you.
Let me ask you,
Why are you
though.
listening to this podcast?
Were you guys shocked when you saw that? I was shocked. I was like, oh, they killed Ben Affleck just like that out of nowhere. Like, it truly is like an out of left field.
Well, I
See.
do have a fun fact about that. I read about this movie, like I read about every movie. The idea to kill off Ben Affleck's character was none other than Ben Affleck.
I
he's
feel
going-
like that's
He's going Harrison.
obvious.
He's going Harrison Ford.
Yeah, kind of. He made the suggestion. He said it should have more stakes. They indicated that it was a it was a not as well established character that died off. So it was probably Charlie Hunnam's brother or Pedro Pascal's character that died. So I think the idea to kill off Ben Affleck, it does have more impact because you kind of consider him the co-lead of the movie up until that point. It has some impact, but I don't know if it was shocking or just kind of like, meh.
It was meh because at that
For
point,
me.
at that point in the movie, I was like, can this movie be over already? Because I want to go do something else.
No.
Well, I mean-
you guys.
Well,
just
I
missed the
mean,
point.
honestly, when it started going bad, I thought they were just all gonna die. Instead, everyone but Oscar Isaac. So when he died, I was like, okay, this is the beginning of the end. They're all gonna start getting picked off. Their greed has overcome them, and it's going to end with like Oscar Isaac losing everything and then going to jail or something.
Mhm.
And it didn't end quite that way. So I guess props to them for
Shocking.
not going the way I thought it was going to go in that way.
Boom.
But that doesn't mean it was a good movie.
Yeah, it does mean that.
Christian, what about it makes it a good movie to you? Like, I want some hard
Yeah.
detail, like specific.
Because I feel like you're trolling us like Ravi does
Yeah,
with Justice League
I-
and Hunter Killer.
No,
seriously.
I'm
Not
very
at all.
confused.
Not at
Arjun
all,
and I
yeah.
thought, like, when the movie started and you just kind of realized how batshit insane things were already at the very get-go,
Yeah.
I asked her, I was like, is our older brother trolling us right now?
I
Like,
thought you were.
I am
I thought
not-
it was a
I am
really
not
I think
trolling.
you still are. I think this is a high-level troll job.
I think so. I think at the very end of this podcast, so if you're listening, at the very end of our podcast, we do go around the table and ask each other, was whatever we're reviewing good? And I feel like at the end of this podcast, the truth is going to come out.
Much like, so you expect to be
I think you're
shocked?
Yes,
So you think I'm going to say it was bad?
correct.
Okay, well, I've been saying that this movie is good for a long time.
But I think this is like Arjuna said. I think this is a high level,
Troll,
well
troll,
thought
yeah.
out troll.
When have I ever done anything high level
Maybe-
or well thought out?
Maybe you're bored. Maybe you're like changing up your game. This is a game changer.
Is a game changer? Well, listen, this is what I thought was good about it, okay? I thought the performances were actually pretty good. I think that was probably the best thing I've seen Ben Affleck in.
Have you seen Batman?
In a long time. Because it was believable. He looked like a slightly overweight alcoholic. Like I'm tired of my life. I used to be great. I used to be good at what I do. Like to me, that performance was just Ben Affleck. Like I think he's in a terribly dark place, and he showed that on the screen really well.
That's dark, dude. You are aware that like Ben Affleck does have legitimate problems.
Yes,
okay.
He's been in and out of AA recently. So I really liked the performances. I liked the dynamic between the unit of 5. I liked how to me it felt real because like one moment they would be good with each other, the next moment they're fighting. I thought that was really well captured and well done. The actual action of the movie I thought was pretty cool. The stakes were high. Like there was tension throughout. Like the scene when they're in the plane trying to clear the mountains or the helicopter. Like I was like, holy shit! Like what legitimately is like this is ridiculous. You spent all this time and took all these risks to get the to escape with this money, right? So. Yeah, the stakes were right. It was a good thriller. And like if you go in and you just expect that, then that's what you get.
Christian, Us was a good thriller.
Oh, well, yeah, thriller's not the right genre. Action
This
movie?
was a good
Action thriller.
waste of my time.
Well, then, let's be honest, Juna. Every movie is technically a waste of time. Yes.
I said that sarcastically.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that you guys don't see it. And
It's
I've actually had this conversation with a couple people at work, too.
About this particular movie?
Yes. Like so like one of my coworkers, Alex, agrees with me. Like, yeah, it's good for what it is, right? I've never seen a good like action military movie.
Commando's a good action movie.
But it's not. It's not though. It's not a. It's a great movie.
Terminator 2 is a really good action movie.
I mean military, like with guys in the military.
The military.
Stargate, SG-1.
That's the
series.
science
Terminators are
fiction.
military. They're militarized.
Modern day military movie.
Black Hawk Down is a ridiculously good military film.
Overrated. That's
How is Black Hawk Down? Are
one
you
one of the most overrated movies
God.
ever? Yeah.
What about
I didn't give 2 shits about any of those characters.
What about
they just died, and I was like,
You're
don't
trolling
care.
me.
Wait, what
Don't
about
care.
Saving Private
Don't
Ryan?
care. Saving Private Ryan is incredible. Yeah, Saving Private Ryan is the best one.
When was
It's
the
the
last?
best
We're going back to Black Hawk Down. When was the last time you saw Black Hawk Down?
About 12 years ago.
I
actually really don't remember.
Watch
it that
Black
much.
Hawk Down again.
I will.
Yes,
Challenge accepted.
It's amazing. It's an amazing film.
Really?
I wouldn't
Amazing.
say it's amazing.
I don't think so. I think
It's
I remember
so
watching
intense.
it. I remember watching it. I'm like, I don't care about anything going on in this movie.
That's because you were 12.
At least with these guys, I understood their plight. They want to make a few bucks, and they feel let down by their own government. And it's like, okay, let's do this for us. I understand those stakes.
So
I don't understand going into another person's country, getting shot out of the sky. And
Sicario's a pretty good military action movie too.
Sicario is pretty good.
Zero Dawn 30 is another good one.
Never seen it.
You never saw Zero Dawn 30? That's a good one. That's with what's the girl's name from all this sci-fi stuff?
Sicario was good, but I don't know.
She's in
Emily Blunt?
No, I can't remember her name.
No, I know what we're talking about.
Sci-fi woman.
Sci-fi lady. Anyway,
Amanda Tapping
what was that?
is just our connection at the bottom. Our headphones.
So what did you guys didn't like? Go ahead, throw it in my face, because
I-
whatever you say is wrong.
I already said it at the top. The second half of that film, after the climax, where
I thought it was great.
it was terrible. It was so boring.
It was not boring.
It was like
They're trying to escape with a whole bunch of money, and they fail horribly. That is incredible.
right, but it's not well done.
It is very well done.
They're walking in the desert. Then Ben gets a bullet to the
That's
head,
a situation.
and then all of a sudden they're done.
And honestly, and no part of that second half felt like it dragged. Like it moved fairly quickly. Like it was a different situation. Like every 10 minutes.
There was only really one situation. They crash.
Well, I mean, like different
And then they
locations
leave.
and like different things happening. Like that second half to me, there was a lot happening. So that's confusing to me that you say it was boring and
It was
pointless.
just it felt like it dragged. The beginning definitely pacing wise felt a lot more kind of clean.
And I would flip that.
Really?
The first half to me was typical. I was like, okay, this is sort of like This is like this to me. It feels like a typical movie, and then the second half to me was what made it different because it was like now they're really like how far are they willing to go to get this money out, and that's what the second half to me was about. Like just how far, like how much are they gonna risk? How much are they willing to give up?
I will disagree with both of you here. I think the whole pace of the entire movie was terrible, and that was actually one of my biggest complaints about the movie. I thought the beginning was, it sets up meeting all of these characters. It felt really kind of hammed and forced in, like, oh, hey, brother, like, nice to see you again.
Hulk Hogan was in the film? I didn't realize Hulk Hogan was in there.
That was my Charlie Hunnam impression. Brother. And then
that's how he acts and everything.
And then the second half, it was just weird because, they go in and they get the money, and it felt like we were on that scene for way too long. It was supposed to be 8 minutes, but I feel like that sequence was at least 15 minutes. Like
wait, which one? I'm sorry.
Well, so when they like go in, when they like start like taking the money, and it's like, all right,
in the house.
Yeah, and it's just like
Gotcha.
that felt like that was weird. It felt the way it was edited and cut was very strange to me because
wait, that particular sequence? Or the whole thing?
The whole thing in general, but that sequence in particular got to me where it just seemed, how when there's been enough Netflix movies now and then theatrical movies, and they're cut a little bit differently, right?
Yeah.
They're a movie that's made straight for Netflix has a little bit of a different feel and aesthetic to it than a theatrical movie does. That a theatrical movie has.
Sure.
And but that sequence in particular felt very Netflixy in a bad way, right? I feel like Netflix movies have a very bad reputation in general. Most of them are shit, and that way it just felt very amateurish and like these quick cuts and like non-sequential matching, and it was all weird. Like the acting was really bad at that point, and then
the acting was incredible. Incredible.
I disagree with you on the
well,
acting.
so
it was just over the top.
Yes.
So that particular sequence, actually,
It's
from
amazing.
an editing standpoint, I felt they did a good job cutting it weird because it added to the chaos of the situation and then also the intensity of what
when
they were
they're ripping
doing.
the money out.
When they're ripping the money and going back and forth, because it made me feel anxious.
I think that's what they were trying to do, but for me, it just felt messy in terms of I have an inexperienced editor and director here who want to try and show that chaos, but for me, it just came off as gross.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry. You just used the word gross to describe editing?
Yeah, it felt rushed. You know what I mean? Like it was like, this is the last sequence we have to do. Let's just like throw some shit together, ship it out, and we're good and we're done. And that's what that sequence felt like to me. And it was and then we go and the plane sequence. I will agree with Christian here when they're trying to clear the mountain. I thought that was they did a good job of building intensity for that. And then they crash and everything, and
things go horribly wrong.
Then they're in the village, and it's just that's a weird sequence too, and then they burn money, and then Ben Affleck dies. Then they dump the money. Then they kill a whole bunch of people on the beach.
No, they don't.
Well, they're running away from the people on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're shooting at that time.
They're
shooting the bad guys.
There's only one car. Because Oscar Isaac is trying the entire time not to kill anyone.
Right.
And his Pedro Pascal's like, what the fuck are you doing? Shoot them. Right. I thought that was interesting. Because you expect the end of the movie to be a big shootout.
Sure.
And it's just them. He's trying everything he can not to kill anyone else. So that was interesting to me.
Wait, Oscar Isaac's character?
Yeah. See, but so the main point I disagree with you, Christian, is like you felt like those were earned. Those felt unearned to me. Like it
What do you mean unearned?
Like
what was unearned?
Just a lot of the motivations and stuff. Like why did Pedro's mindset shift? Like how did he go, like where did he go from like this to this? And there was like one or two scenes that sort of articulated it, but it wasn't strong enough for me. And it kind of reminded me of a little bit, not in the same way, but Rogue One, where the biggest problem to me with that movie was none of the deaths at the end were earned. You're supposed to be invested in all these characters, and I was only invested in the robot. And I actually felt sad when the robot died.
K2SO.
K2SO, right? And so for this, like when Ben Affleck dies, I'm not invested in his character. He's just Ben Affleck. You
Oh
know?
yeah, I mean, it is still an action movie first.
Sure.
So there's only so much time and effort they're gonna spend toward developing the psyches of these guys, right? But I thought for what it was, they did a pretty good job compared to other, military action movies. And you're right, there are definitely some leaps in character development because Pedro Pascal is sort of to me though that doesn't ruin it for me because at the end of the day it's an intense situation. You're gonna switch on a dime like that in those kind of situations. You're not gonna take 4 days to become something else. You're just gonna be like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being here. We're this close to the beach. We just need to get off. Kill them.
So I just feel like they didn't show that though. They didn't show that.
It could have been done.
They didn't show that tension within them. They just kind of it cut and he was that already instead of like one scene he's like this and then the next scene he's like that. But we didn't see that journey. They didn't. It's like they showed the wrong scenes almost.
So that was your favorite part?
My favorite part of the entire movie was the ending where they hinted at a sequel.
They did not hint at a sequel.
Why do you think Charlie Hunnam hands him the coordinates?
Yeah, that's for him to fly in in a well-equipped helicopter.
So you don't think
that's not a sequel?
You don't think they would make a sequel if this movie did really well?
Are you now trolling us?
No, I'm just saying in general that scene has the potential to be a sequel if the movie was popular. I don't know if it was or not.
I mean, sitting at like a 65 or 6.5 on IMDb right now.
Right, but no.
Which,
Netflix,
by the way, is a perfect score.
Netflix.
That's a good score.
But Netflix doesn't release their viewing data. But if this was like the most popular thing on Netflix for 2 months, you don't think they would commission a sequel? Of course they would. This is what I mean. What are you guys under a rock? They make sequels to everything that doesn't need sequels. And yes, you could set up a sequel from that point.
Yeah, like Avengers Endgame.
To me though, it doesn't need a sequel. They would do a sequel, but it would be same characters, completely unrelated to this story, or same title, or same idea and completely different characters and different situation. To me, it doesn't make sense for a sequel for this.
So, Christian, you're clearly the Triple Frontier truther of the group.
Yes.
Why was the film called Triple Frontier?
Actually, I don't know either.
Yeah, I didn't look this up, and I meant to. I assume because
you're a truther, bro.
So
you should know all facts about this stuff.
Triple Frontier. I assume it has something to do with something, drugs, money, and guns.
Wow.
That's the Triple Frontier.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe because it takes place. Maybe it's 3 different locations. Is it 3 locations? America, South America. I don't know.
That's a strange one.
The Triple Frontier expert doesn't even know where the movie takes place.
Well, moving right along. We've got. I want to move it to kind of the box office because this did release in theaters.
It had a limited release.
But let us know how well it did.
It was a limited release. It wasn't meant to do well.
I don't think it. I don't know if it has even recorded numbers.
Wow,
that's because it's so good, guys. It's
I
Netflix
would love to
first
know
movie.
how long it took to what was principal photography, what was the time frame. And I would love to know what was the what were these guys paid to make this amazing film.
That's true. That's because you would assume all of those guys, like 3 of them, Charlie Hunnam, Oscar Isaac, and Ben. They're all leading. They can all lead their own movies. Right?
Yeah, they all have led movies before.
Some better than others.
So I don't have the numbers and I don't have the production costs. But what is interesting on Rotten Tomatoes currently, as of the recording of this podcast, critically, Triple Frontier sits at a 73%.
That's way too fucking high.
But the audience score is a 59% rotten.
That makes more sense.
Barely rotten. I want to point out.
It is still rotten.
Barely. More than half still liked it. I just want to point that out. It's not like 49, where less than half. It's more than half.
You are where there are DC movies,
Aquaman,
right? That sit higher
than Triple Frontier.
Yes,
and that's mind blowing to me.
Okay,
mind blasting.
Okay,
Triple. Honestly, what was it? A 73?
73%.
I would say it should be lower than that. It should be probably a 65. It's still fresh.
62.
It's barely fresh. But it's to me, it's still fresh because it is good for what it is. Because maybe this is. I think here's where we went wrong with this. I went into this movie knowing nothing about it and expecting nothing, and then was like blown away because it exceeded my expectations. I think I built it up way too much, and then told you guys, "Here's an amazing movie," and you guys were like, "Okay." You went in expecting something and got less than you expected. I went in expecting nothing and got something I actually enjoyed and was surprised by. So
You ruined the movie for us.
I did. I skewed
I don't
it
know.
for you.
I don't know about that. 'Cause
I do know, Ravi.
I kind of went into it realizing, it's a typical action movie,
And it wasn't.
and it was
No.
big time
No, it wasn't. How could you say that?
because that's what we got. That's what we saw. Was
I
this-
think only 15 people died total in the entire movie. You know how many
it's
people-
Way more than 15.
Do you know how many people died in Taken?
how many?
Half the population of France.
I mean, makes sense.
It seems like. What was we were still on the box office stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to look up if I can find anything about.
Sequels.
Yeah. Oh, here's a trivia fact. Ben Affleck was first attached in 2017, but dropped out, but signed back on to the project in 2018.
Why was that?
That was probably when all his personal troubles were happening.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, like I said, that portrayal, real.
It wasn't. He was high.
Well, that'll work.
So, what is our theory about the headshot
What do you
What
mean?
the hell?
of Ben Affleck?
What do you
What?
mean? The theory.
Well, we didn't see him die.
What? Yeah, we did.
We saw a bullet go through his head,
And then
and then his eyes were open.
Right, and then he was dead.
But
But
what if he didn't die?
they carried the body back
in a bag.
in a bag.
Body double.
Junior's trolling.
Oh my god. How does that work, by the way? Like, so they're clearly in a country that they're not supposed to be doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, and then he gets shot, and they're carrying his body all the way back. How do you get that back into the country?
Like they did. You get on a boat.
Just on a boat, and then you get snuck into the country.
Well, so I don't think they came straight back to America. I think
they went to another country. in
another
some
country,
firm.
yeah. And then we're in the U.S. Embassy. And then he was talking to a lawyer. Remember, he says, I only caught this the second time I watched it. That lady who's handing out their money at the end, that's a lawyer that he said he was going to work with to help them
move the money.
Move the money,
Right.
get out, set up lives for his informant and her brother in Australia.
I have a question for you guys.
Incredible.
When they are in that room at the end, this actually had me thinking. And they start by saying, who was the first? I forget who the first character was.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, who says, "I'm just going to give my share to the family."
Yep.
Which of the characters actually wanted to do that and actually felt like they had to do it once it happened?
Oh, that's easy. So Charlie Hunnam definitely wanted to do it.
Right.
His brother, I think at that point, probably doesn't care. He's just going to, do whatever his brother does.
Sure.
Pedro Pascal actually probably wanted to keep it a little bit, but was like, it's really not worth it. Oscar Isaac wanted to keep that money. They paid him to no end to have to give it away. And to me, I saw that and I felt it in my balls.
Wow.
Whoa.
What is wrong with you?
Whoa.
Going back to the informant, that was one piece that just felt kind of weird. So we know that the two of them are seeing each other clearly. Oscar's got some kind of bizarre feelings for her. And then towards the end of her time in the film, she says to him, "Watch out for your buddy Ben."
Yeah.
Right? They're clearly building something. And then Ben gets his brains blown out. And then that's the end of that.
She's referring that he's not, a great guy. He shot that villager. He's part of the reason that they get into a lot of the mess they get into.
Remember, she doesn't know about that villager.
I know.
They
So
drop him.
she's warning him. She's
Right.
warning Oscar Isaac, watch out for your buddy.
Right.
And Ben Affleck continues to keep going off the deep end. Like, he
Right.
continues to puts them in jeopardy.
But my point is, it felt like, so with her, with the village and everything,
Mhm.
and him going off the deep end, it's like they were trying to build something between Oscar and Ben where something would happen.
That's true.
And then, boom, Ben's gone.
Yeah. They blew him away.
And once again, the whole Ben being gone was in the second half of the film, the part of the film I hated the most. And the more I think about it, also, was there some kind of writing change? Like,
I
they
think
go and do a massive
No.
script
So this is what
rewrite?
happened.
Potentially.
I think when they were filming, that's when Ben Affleck came up with the idea of his character to die. And because he's such a big name on the project, they just listened to him, did it, and that changed the second half. And I think it's kind of evident because it is building to this one thing, and then it's a sudden change, which is kind of cool, I guess, in theory, in a bubble, that it, that's how life works, right?
It subverted your expectations.
Yeah, it changes expectations, but I think the execution of it wasn't necessarily
Great.
No, it was terrible because once he's gone, then all we're doing is carrying a body, dumping some money, and then the end. And we'll give the family all the money. That's what happened. That was it. The end.
Yeah.
And that was boring. You had this.
What did you?
amazing-
What did you want? What did you want?
I wanted action. I wanted explosions. It's a fucking action movie, not a fucking sad
drama.
Drama.
So for you, it wasn't typical enough of an action movie.
there wasn't enough action for him.
There wasn't enough. So what did you want? Like you wanted like this massive battle at the end, right?
Yeah, and then friends betraying friends.
Yeah,
like,
and then Oscar Isaac shooting Ben in the head at the end.
not even shooting, but like some kind of like
Fist fight.
Some-
You're right, because they have to lose their
something-
guns and then
Hold
fight
on,
with
hold
their
on.
fists.
Just something more like you could have still done more. You had more action sequences and not still been like this typical thing. I think it should have ended where you get to like maybe this big battle at the end or whatever, right? And you get like this reveal or whatever that Oscar Isaac's character is really the bad character. And that, he fucked with them all. And, like, that's Ben's redemption story right there. Like, Ben's clearly going off the deep end, but for his men, he's going to take out his good friend. Like, something like that. That would have been more meaty and more interesting than whatever the fuck we got.
Actually, you know what? when I was watching the movie
won't
and they
disagree.
were raiding the house and they couldn't find the guy, the thought in my mind that went through was that Oscar Isaac was the drug lord. No, for real. Like, there's this theory that went through my head of like, oh my god, he's like completely tricked these guys, and he's like this evil drug lord, and he's stealing his own money for it to be legal, and then he's gonna frame one of his friends. Like, I had this whole theory in my head, and then he was there, and they killed the guy. And I was like, oh.
That sounds way more interesting than what we got.
Because it was weird how he like approached
that's
his
funny.
friends, so I thought there was potentially more to it.
Yeah, like he approached him like a shady dude.
It was a little
Super shady.
Well, it's shady because it's illegal.
It is?
It's illegal to go into another country and steal another person's drug money?
I
and then
Weird.
and then profit off of it, not hand it over to the FBI or whatever. Yes, apparently.
That's surprised. I'm very surprised.
I hear your objections, but it was still Incredibles
I mean, Incrediballs is something
with
like
a Z.
That's like when you use the word Incrediballs when you talk about something like when you saw Avengers, Infinity
Into the
War.
Spider-Verse.
No,
Or Into the Spider-Verse.
No.
Into the
That's
Spider-Verse is
Incrediballs.
incredible
No.
movie.
Those
How
are
is
those are
Into the-
amazing.
How is
Amazing.
Into the Spider-Verse
That's
not
an
Amazeballs?
No. Well, that's different than Incredibles.
Oh,
There's a difference to the balls.
Jesus.
The balls part is fine. The balls part, though, you shouldn't apply to those movies. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, amazing. Avengers, eye-popping, right? But they're not Incredibles.
But Incrediballs is like such a stronger term than like eye-popping.
No, really?
Like,
I don't know about that.
So you-
think about eye-popping. A movie
Okay.
that is so good it makes your eyes pop out of their sockets.
sure.
Think about that. That's like the highest praise you can give anything.
No, but like eye-popping to me, especially when you're talking about like film, that means like visually it was really, really cool.
All right, so Into
Right.
the Spider-Verse, eye-popping.
So yes.
Avengers Endgame. But we don't know, do we?
No, we don't.
What about Infinity Wars?
I would say spectacular.
Better than Age of Ultron.
But still, so you're not going to... Infinity War, you're not going to use your new term Incrediballs to describe?
No, I wouldn't.
You're going to save
Because
Incrediballs
yeah.
for
A movie-
fucking Triple Frontier.
Because it was I
You
was
were
not
trolling, sir.
No. Because it was not what I was expecting. Infinity War, every blockbuster movie you've ever seen is a movie that you expect, right? Unless it's bad, then it's just depressing. But none of those movies give you something you don't expect. Like it's Formula 101. They've nailed it. And they do it well. It's the same fucking movie every single.
So
time.
then my question, okay.
Triple Frontier, at least I was like my expectations were subverted.
So
a
I
couple of times.
understand. So I'm starting to
Incredibles.
understand. Understanding. You had no expectations going to this movie.
Yeah.
It exceeded these no expectations, and you had a pleasant ride, even watching it a second time.
Yes.
So then, where would you rank this movie in terms of most surprising movies you've ever watched? In terms of how much you enjoyed it?
Oh, it's probably in terms of how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's probably top 5. because I really wasn't. I was expecting. This is what happens a lot of times when I'm bored and I'm looking for stuff. I'll turn it on, and if I'm not interested in 20 minutes, I turn it off. So this movie, I kept going, and to me, I expected it to keep going a certain way, and it went a different way about 3 or 4 different times. And I was like, oh, okay, something different happened. I'm like, okay. And by the end, I was like, I was surprised 3 or 4 times during that movie. It exceeded my expectations, and I was happy with the overall arc of what happened and so forth.
Nothing happened.
Yes, Ravi, something did happen. They lost their leader and brother,
God.
Ben Affleck.
Oh my God.
Bat.
So therefore, Incredibles.
Ravi's shaking his head for our podcast listeners.
Are we
who
at that
don't see
time,
the
or do we
visual.
still have some more segments?
I think this is the part where you tell us the truth, Krishna. You're just fucking
You
with
have
us.
to end with
No,
that
you
one.
got to end with Krishna.
Yeah.
I know, but like you are fucking with us.
I am not, and it is actually very warming to my heart and very joyful to me that you think I am, because I'm not.
All right, Krishna, start.
Arjuna, was Triple Frontier Incredibles?
Well, it definitely was not incredible.
All right, fine. Was it good?
It was sadly not good. It was not. Ravi, was Triple Frontier good?
Fuck no. And anyone that thinks
I am shocked.
anyone that thinks
I've already used that. You can't use that.
they're delusional.
Yeah.
Krishna,
We're all delusional.
Krishna Ramgopal. I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
First, are you trolling us?
No.
Second, was Triple Frontier good?
No, it was not good.
Oh, thank God.
Because it was Incredibles.
Wait, so is that a yes or a no?
That is it's Incredibles. I want you to put on my thing on your chart. No,
This doesn't answer the question.
it wasn't good because it was Incredibles.
This doesn't help my chart.
For the sake of your chart, you put me as yes, it was good. But in real life, no, it was not good because it was Incredibles. Okay?
Yeah,
I'm glad we've cleared that up.
That's how I feel.
So according to Krishna, this is our 34th episode. Was it good? And if we go off of the grading rubric of yes or no, Krishna believes Triple Frontier is better than the following movies: Aquaman,
Yep.
Creed 2,
Yeah.
Hunter Killer,
Yeah.
Venom,
Yes.
Pacific Rim Uprising,
150%.
and Star Trek Discovery Season 1.
Wow, yeah, that is all accurate in my mind. I was to rank all of those, Triple Frontier is better than all.
What was the third one?
The third one was Hunter Killer.
And before that one?
Creed 2.
Ravi liked Creed 2.
Wait a second.
You said
thought,
yes to both of those.
You thought
Creed 2 sucked.
Triple Frontier.
Creed 2
Not
sucked.
a thought. You think Triple Frontier is better than Creed 2?
I just said that 4 times.
Thank you for listening. I'm gonna go and just question everything about Krishna.
I do need we do need to let our viewers know if you enjoyed this podcast, please let us know what you thought about Triple Frontier, and please include the hashtag Incredibles. Thank you.
You can follow us on Twitter at wasitgood, on Instagram at wasitgoodbtm.
BTM.
Sounds like a weird sexual thing.
It really does.
It stands for Bad Tacos Media.
Why
Oh,
you
I
said
know.
that? You bum?
Because it just occurred to me.
I'm your host Ravi, and once again, this was It Good, a podcast by 3 brothers.
That's the end of the record. We are still streaming. So, did we have any questions that came in?
You would have seen them on the screen,
This chat is ready to display messages.
and there was no. I think we had like a total of like 7 viewers.
Yes. We're moving on up.
Moving on up.
Do we want to say goodbye to our streaming audience, or do we want to continue the conversation? I will say this. This is the after show to the podcast.
I just
Going off of Krishna's nose, which of those movies did I enjoy more than Triple Frontier? So the following movies and things.
No one wants to know that.
Well, I think it's an interesting discussion. So Aquaman, I liked more. Creed 2, I liked more. Hunter Killer is not a better movie, no. But I actually enjoyed it more than Triple Frontier.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Arjuna, you have an alien brain that doesn't function correct.
I'm sorry.
Disagree with you.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Christian, you
Yes.
kind of lost all opinion until you rectify the Triple Frontier problem.
I want new co-hosts because you guys are closed-minded and churlish.
But Christian, what about Venom? I remember when you saw Venom, you really enjoyed it.
I did. I
So-
liked Triple Frontier more.
I'm shocked.
And it was good. And
shocked
Drenum
by
was
that.
not. End of...
Drenum?
What is Drenum?
I think that's what you just said.
You said Drenum, not Venom. You were like Drenum.
Drenum.
I
was
still
better.
might be...
Drenum.
Like I said, I still might be high. I don't know what day it is. I just lost my job. I lost my apartment.
I lost my kids.
Now I have to live
And you
here
can't
with
lose the
guys.
weight. Can't lose the weight.
I can't lose the weight.
Can't lose the weight. Cool. I think we're good to close down the live stream too.
Yeah. Let's shut down, yo.
All right, we will be back Thursday night for our Shazam review.
Ooh.
So be there. Thursday, we are seeing at 4 o'clock. We will be streaming probably circa 6:30, 7 o'clock.
We should probably
Can you
set
hear it?
everything on Wednesday then, so that once we're done, we can just roll right into it.
Yeah, we'll set it all up. We'll even tweet about it. We'll,
What time's your party on Thursday?
It starts at 8:30.
Okay, so we can go at like 9:30.
Yeah, we'll be fine
Yeah.
to be a little late.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Actually, I might
Goodbye,
not, I might not
audience.
go.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.